Major moves are happening across the MCU. Thunderbolts is setting the stage for what's next, and a new Black Panther may be on the horizon. We're diving into the biggest Marvel updates, X-Men teases, and Star Wars surprises, and massive gaming/film news. So the universe is shifting fast, and we are breaking it all down today on Fundamentals. Hey, hey.
Hey,
Oh, well, I guess without further ado, you want to kick it off with some Marvel?
absolutely. I would love to.
And I am sorry about that.
No, you're absolutely fine. You're absolutely
uh,
fine.
so we will kick off with a few topics of Thunderbolts since we're just about 1 week out from coming. Cannot
Dude,
absolutely cannot wait. The more stuff that keeps
yeah.
dropping, we get like positive reviews. But yeah, we're gonna pretty much kick this off with one of the new Thunderbolt trailers. It's wild. Red Guardian shows up and immediately gets roasted as Santa right out of the gate by Val.
Dude, she
So
said Red Santa and I lost it.
yeah, well, especially with him being Santa from Violent Night, like that was hilarious. And
Dude.
then it's just like, we're like, oh, Red Guardian, we're getting him again, and then it's just hilarious that it's still kind of being shown that nobody really, really knows who he is, but Yelena. So,
Yeah. Dude, because
oh,
like that's her dad. Like
right,
that's
right,
who she like expects like to be her dad. So it's absolutely insane that like that's where she expect like her dad to be, and then now it's like, no, it's Red Guardian, and you're
yeah.
like, okay, cool, it's like the red limousine, it's the ah, it's
He's
amazing.
been a driver all this time, not doing that stupid real
Yeah.
life. But yeah, so Thunderbolts also early reactions are coming in like crazy. And Marvel fans, I think we're eating good. Like we've been getting good content, but this is supposedly like up there. Like they're saying that this is the best Marvel cinematic feature we've seen since Endgame. And what's wild is like no matter what Marvel content we have, it's always, ebb and flow, hit and miss. You always have a divided, fan base of whether they loved it or if it was okay or if it was not that great, people's
Mhm.
opinions. This is coming across the board as phenomenal. And I'm hearing it more than once about it's the best thing since Endgame, literally hearing it more than once. And what's funny is you have a lot of people I've seen on the internet that's also like, who asked for this? Nobody asked for this team up. And like it's shutting all the naysayers
It's
up.
me.
So
I asked for this.
oh man. Speaking of Red Guardian though, Red Guardian apparently guys on Tinder,
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, I found him. I was like doing, my interweb searches,
right?
and I found out that he was on Tinder, and I was like, this is amazing because the amount of production and marketing, really that went into this movie, and I was just like,
Mhm.
oh my God, the fact that he's on Tinder is amazing. Um, just because he's like really out there, and he's just,
Right.
yeah,
What's funny
you
is it said
know.
something about the little bio it said at the bottom if you couldn't see it, it says something about if you want to be thunderstruck by love.
'Cause
I'm
he
like, this is great.
he says in the limo service if you don't want like a boring night or something like that,
Yeah.
if you don't want like a limo boring service. And I was just like, "Oh my God, that's amazing. That's
And
absolutely
and
amazing."
and funerals and fancy funerals.
Fancy funerals, but also regular funerals. Like, who says that? Who absolutely says that?
Right, right. Also, popcorn buckets. You thought the Dune popcorn bucket was wild. Deadpool Wolverine was wild. Check this out. This is insane. I have to have
Oh,
this one. I want this more than I want the limo.
yeah. Dude, they really have like his helmet as a popcorn bucket because he literally
Uh,
like, so it was funny because like there's a short of him looking at his popcorn bucket and then turning it upside down, and he was like, huh, and then him like, like the regular like popcorn going into the
right,
helmet
right.
and whatever, and then like going on top of the drink, and he's just like, yeah, and he's like drinking out of the popcorn bucket, and I was like, oh man, that is sick as fuck. Like, who would have thought that the Red Guardian's helmet would have been a popcorn bucket because it has eye holes, you know?
Right, right. Yeah, no, I love it. But Marvel themselves made a post this week too, and everybody's always wondered before every Marvel project comes out, oh, what do I need to watch before this? And sometimes people get overwhelming. But Marvel just pretty much put it out as just three movies: Captain America: Winter Soldier, Black Widow, and Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's the only movies they're requiring you to watch. Like, obviously, there's some fill-ins you can do with some Disney Plus content, like Falcon and Winter Soldier, but they didn't even bother to mention that. That was the three movies
Yeah.
they said is the most important to watch before this movie. So,
Now, when you say Ant-Man and the Ant-Man and Wasp, are
right.
you talking about like the just regular Ant-Man and Wasp? Or are you talking about
Mhm.
Quantumanium
No,
or
no, just Ant-Man and the Wasp, the one with the
okay.
ghost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
So, man, I can't wait. We've got our ticket spot. I'm seeing it Thursday night and Saturday night. You're seeing it Saturday night, right? I think.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
Oh,
And
dude, it's gonna be amazing. Like,
yeah.
regardless of like if it's like great or not, like it's gonna be a hilarious good time.
Oh yeah. And another thing, I think we mentioned it last week, but there is two post-credit scenes. I have literally been staying away from all spoilers. This is one. Normally I don't mind spoilers. I'm like, it doesn't affect how I look at things, how I see things. But just because of how good the reviews have been, I'm like, nope, this is one I want to walk into completely not knowing. So I don't know what
Yeah.
the after credit scenes are, but there is two. There's a mid-credit scene, supposedly that's real short and funny, and then there's an end one, and it's 5 minutes long, and they say it's one of the best end credit scenes we've had in years from Marvel, and it is something tied into Doomsday. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I mean like the like I mean all around the first credits of or first reactions rather, I'm sorry, have been like super positive. And when's
yeah,
the last time that we've gotten one of those
right,
is that it's
right.
been super positive?
So we'll kind of wrap this up on the Thunderbolts, but I'm gonna go with theories. Let's wrap this up with theories because this is gonna be the last time we talk about it really until we actually see it.
Yeah.
So cameos. So apparently there's a few exact words I heard was there's a few cameos in this. What's your top two cameos you think you would like to see, or maybe not that maybe you'd like to see, but you think we will see maybe?
I mean, I guess like a Loki
Uh huh.
cameo, and I feel like that's completely off the wall
Right.
random. That and I guess Captain America. Like
Oh yeah.
if I'm like going like and I'm talking about Anthony Mackie, Captain
Mm-hmm.
America, not
Right.
the original Captain America, but
Oh.
where we are right now in Captain America. I feel like
I would like to
those
see that.
two.
That makes sense because we got to see Bucky short time there for Sam, in
Mhm.
the Captain Brave New World. So it'd be cool to get a reverse and
Yeah.
get a little Sam there for Bucky. And maybe it's something that toward the end, after the fight's over with, and we know the next time we see Thunderbolts more likely is going to be Avengers Doomsday. Hey, what's up, Jody?
Yeah.
Uh, then also, what's up, Deontay? I don't know. I like that. I love that actually. I actually want that and hope that we do definitely get that. I don't know. I'm sitting here trying to think. I would like to. I'm not saying this is. I'm not saying we're going to get this, but I'd like to see this. We haven't seen Bruce in a while, right? And
Ooh, you mean like
yeah,
Bruce Banner, like the
yeah,
Hulk?
because
Green Hulk? Okay.
Professor Hulk's supposed to be done,
Yeah.
and so I'd like to get like maybe we see Bruce, as his normal form. We don't have to get the Hulk, but that way, if we see Bruce, we know the Professor Hulk. We get our confirmation that it's done, and we know we're probably gonna get the gritty, meaner, Hulk that everybody loves back whenever we get to see him back on screen. So that would be like a slight nod, but confirmation. I think that would be cool and important. Um, I don't know. Let's see. Who would be my second one?
Erica did say Shang-Chi, and you know what? We haven't really seen
Mm,
Shang-Chi in a while. Like
that
that
man
would be
deserves more screen time. Yes.
yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, Erica, you know what? You're right. You're right there. I absolutely agree. I would love to see
Mm,
Shang-Chi.
yeah,
Um
I'd go for that one. Because I mean,
now,
we've been waiting forever since we seen Shang-Chi. Well, last
right.
time we seen Shang-Chi was in Shang-Chi. So, like,
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. And would I love to see Shang-Chi again?
mhm.
Absolutely.
And he
But
was at the red
what
carpet premiere in London for Thunderbolts.
I did see
She
that, and we
literally was.
did talk about that. We did
Yeah.
talk about that where I was like, "Yo, is Shang-Chi really in this?" And
Yes.
I mean, honestly, with what they're trying to do, I don't expect it.
Uh-huh.
But if I could see them do it, absolutely, I would really love them to bring
Yeah.
Shang-Chi back.
And then, like, I think it was just for support, and they have a movie coming out in July, but we also seen Pedro Pascal at the red carpet premiere.
Mhm.
And I don't think he's gonna be in it by no means, but just for a simple fact, the introduction, I think, of him will be the Fantastic Four. So I'm sure it was
Yeah.
just, we're Marvel family, we're here supporting each other, I'm sure. But, I don't you never know
I
nowadays.
love that.
You never
I
know.
love I love that like Marvel is like super supportive of Marvel in general. Like regardless of what you're putting through, like
Right.
we're here for you. And I love that.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I'm so excited. So, this coming week. But next on the list, let's see. Marvel apparently has cast the next Black Panther. They're in the process of getting someone to play him. So let's unpack what this means. Okay, so literally, let's see. They're casting the son supposedly. They're casting
Yeah.
as the new Black Panther. So we're still getting T'Challa, but, at the end of, Wakanda Forever, he's like, "I'm T'Challa, son of King T'Challa." And so
Yeah.
that literally makes the most sense to me. Like,
Mhm.
they already, I think it's clever for Marvel and their writing. You're creating a legacy character, but, I don't know. I think that's best to do that instead of recast from, Chadwick Boseman, and then you're still
Yeah.
carrying on the legacy of the man. Like, we have, Shuri that right now that's Black Panther, but then we do get him, and supposedly Marvel right now, because he when it showed him, that was before the blip. So we've had,
Yeah.
a few years, so they can recast him. And he'd be that plenty of age to be, around that young Avenger group type. So
Yeah.
I would like to see that. I would like to see that even over them bringing another T'Challa from another universe. I,
Yeah, and I mean, I've said it time and time again that I would rather them bring someone that is not T'Challa itself, but
mhm,
someone that is recasted into the Black Panther role because we've seen that time and time again where
right.
we've seen other people like really cast into that Black Panther role that I would really love for them to continue on the lineage of Black Panther and not just so much recast. And I mean, I get it. I get it that actors die, and I get that they would really continue on like what would happen, but I would really love for them to go from where they have like his father and now into Black Panther where T'Challa
Mhm,
and continue on with that lineage where now it's his sister taking up the Black Panther role and continue on the route, you know?
right. No, for sure. I hope we get some news soon. Hopefully they find an actor and that's the route they go.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm definitely here for that because
Yeah.
and that came from Jeff Snyder, by the way. That's who the
Mm.
source was that said that. And he's that guy's kind of 50-50. Like he gets a lot of things right, but then he's been wrong, quite a few times as well. So we shall find out.
Yeah, there's only a matter of time. I mean, if honestly though, if they were to recast T'Challa, I don't think I would be upset by it.
No, I wouldn't be
Honestly,
mad. Yeah.
no, I
'Cause
wouldn't.
they've
But
done their due diligence, and like we talked
yeah,
before, if he came from another universe, that still is being super respectful and so much other stuff, so, like, I don't know. I wouldn't be upset,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
prefer this one over anything else.
I mean, Jamie's in the comments saying that she hopes it's his son, and
Mhm.
I absolutely agree. Like, I
Yeah.
would hope it's his son and continue on that lineage.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
but you know, who never knows?
We shall find out all in due time.
Yeah,
Time will
yeah,
tell.
absolutely.
But, another thing we got on the list is, we waited decades for X-Men in their comic accurate suits, and apparently we are getting them. Uh,
Dude.
Daniel Daniel Rickman says that there's reports that there's multiple scenes from the X Mansion, right? That's going to be
Mhm.
Avengers Doomsday, which I pulled some of these aerial photos up from the set that they've built, and this is why like people are saying that they pretty sure this is the X Mansion. There's also another photo I couldn't find that the building looks like the X Mansion, And
Yeah.
this is it destroyed. And there's also, if you kind of look and zoom in on a little bit clearer picture, like that's clear as I could get it on here. If you look it up, there's also a ship that's kind of off to the side. And
Oh.
some people are like, that doesn't look like the Blackbird. And but what people are saying it does look like is the ship that the Marvels were in from the Marvels. And with that being
Hmm.
said, we get that in credit scene with them in another universe with Monica Rambeau and Beast, because Monica Rambeau got sucked into that universe. So Doomsday, we know there's going to be so many people, and you're like, all right, well, if that's the case, how did they get the ship and get to another universe, get the ship through it or whatever? Well, we have America Chavez we haven't seen in a while. So what if they throw another girl in the team and she's able to just open up the portal to other universes and they fly right through it, and that's how they get Monica Rambeau back and maybe possibly
Hmm.
team up with that universe's X-Men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
I
kind of
could, huh? I
yeah,
could really dig that, but I feel like at the same time that I really would want Kelsey Grammer as Beast to have his time.
right. Well,
Because
that's
we
why they
just
could
got
they could
him.
come in from that universe. So that's another way it could play into that. We're getting the X-Men actors, but in comic accurate suits, because that's
Mm-hmm.
another thing Daniel Rickman said. Supposedly, they are going to feature the iconic blue and yellow suits. And when we seen Beast at the end of the Marvels, he was wearing the yellow and the shorts and stuff with the lab coat. That's the comic accurate Beast from the same suits they wear. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I mean, absolutely. It is comic accurate, sorry, accurate. Um like vision that we would want, and it's what we've wanted since Fox had made their films. So,
right,
absolutely, I would absolutely love for them to come through and give us really what we want. But I don't I don't know, man.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if exactly we would get exactly what we want out of this, or if we would get, James Morrison as Cyclops and Patrick Stewart and Ian. Fuck.
McKellen,
Was yeah, thank you, Ian McKellen
right,
as the originals that we would expect them to be in this
yeah,
Beast universe, or if it would be another universe where we would get them because and Daniel had said that we would get multiple shots
mm-hmm,
of the X mansion, and
right.
like if we would get multiple shots, would that mean that we would just get this one shot and then it'd get destroyed, or we would get multiple shots?
Like multiple, you
And
talking about like from multiple expansions from multiple universes? What you're saying?
no, I mean from one
Oh,
universe,
oh, okay,
honestly.
gotcha.
Where
Yeah,
we would get this like Jamie had said, the extra Wolverine variant where he is from that universe.
mhm,
And we would get their suits all together, like Jamie had said right here. Like would that be where we would get that? I don't know. I feel like I would want them to be all in one universe
right,
together and it not be ultra universes because we had seen in Deadpool and Wolverine where he had
mhm,
extra suits and different variants where it wasn't just this blue and yellow suit.
mhm,
We had gotten extra suits out of Deadpool and Wolverine. So
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm cool too if we get like the original X-Men cast from the early 2000s, but it's
Mhm.
them, the same actors, but they're in from different universe we've ever seen in the comic accurate suits, and I think that's fine. I
Yeah.
think that you can knock out two birds with one stone that way by giving
Yeah.
us our actors, getting them one less send off, but it's just not the ones that we've seen in the universe from the Fox. Especially since Deadpool Wolverine was actually the send off supposedly of the death of the Fox universe. Maybe this is exactly what it's going to do. There's just another piece in the puzzle to actually kind of confirm that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find out. Next on the list, also Anthony Mackie just teased that Avengers Doomsday might have the biggest cliffhanger in the MCU history, and even said no one is safe. So he was actually
Ooh.
in an interview, and he's like, you know what? He's like, I was really excited, man. It's one of those stories that really pushes the boundaries, and then it is a cliffhanger at the end. He's like, the last moments of the film, it really builds and sets us up for the way of the continuation of the Marvel saga, which is really exciting. And then he went on to say a little bit later in the conversation, you see these characters and you see how they're introduced and how they play in the universe moving forward, and no one is safe. Everyone is expendable.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's a like. I mean, that's not even cryptic. I mean, like he was very straightforward about that. I'm actually shocked that he said that much and
Yeah.
hasn't been like slapped on the hand about it. but
I mean,
it's kind
it's
of
very open-ended though at the same
right.
time,
It
right?
is. It sounds very Infinity War, and Endgame like, 'cause that's big cliffhanger at the end. A lot of half of them died at the end. So it sounds very, very, familiar with how the Russo brothers did that, which at the same time, like, you kind of expect that. Like, I mean, if you're going to have 5.5 hours with a watch time in two movies, and it's the same brothers doing the same thing, they know what they're doing. It's not going to
Yeah.
be the same song and dance necessarily, but you gotta leave people on the edge of their seat too. So,
Yeah.
let's
It's
see.
absolutely insane. But like
Yeah.
but continuing on that
Uh-huh.
like Daredevil they uh Danny I'm sorry.
Oh, Dario.
Yeah, sorry. Dario Scapone. I'm sorry if I'm
Smart of
totally
Pain.
yeah, that
Yeah.
one. He actually confirmed that Daredevil Born Again, we have an official date for Daredevil Born Again.
Yes. Yes.
For season 2, which is going to be in March of 2026. So, how
Which
do you
is
feel
perfect.
about this?
No, I
Yeah?
think that's great. Yeah, I mean, our
Yeah?
last episode, we were saying, you know what? They're already filming. Why not bring this out on the same month next year? Well, guess what? Our wishes are fulfilled. So long as there's no issues, our wishes are fulfilled. Which I don't think it is. They have plenty of time between now and then. I think they're close to wrapping up filming, if not like halfway through it.
Yeah.
So this makes me happy. This makes me very, very happy.
No, absolutely 100%. I mean, like we've been talking about how Foggy is going to incorporate into the next season and how Karen is going to incorporate into the
Mhm.
next season and if we're going to get Jessica Jones because we're really
Pretty
hoping for
sure we
that
will.
Defenders exactly.
Right.
So if we're getting all of that, like how's that going to look? So I'm really hoping for a second season of Daredevil Born Again,
Mhm.
sooner rather than not. Um, just because I mean, honestly, the little like child in me is just like, oh, I want more, you know.
No, for sure. I don't know. This first season was so good, and I really hope we do. If we don't get the full set of defenders in it, I hope that we at least get half of them. Like
Oh
at least
yeah.
give us Jessica Jones, Luke Cage. Just them two at least, and we've already got Punisher in there. So I don't know.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't feel regardless whatever they do. I think I got a feeling it's going to make us happy because they did it the first season so right, so right.
Oh, they
So.
did the first season of Daredevil just
Oh, hey, I don't know if you can hear me, but your volume, you muted yourself, I think. Yeah, you're muted still. It shows you're muted on the screen.
can you hear
Oh,
me?
we're good.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I heard that I got a Bluetooth disconnected is the words that it said in my mouth. But so I mean like anyway, sorry. That Daredevil the first season was
Mhm.
absolutely amazing and that's why I want a Daredevil season 2 so fast is that it was amazing and I
Yeah,
really wanted a second season immediately because we only got 9 episodes, and you
yeah,
said it was supposed to be 18 episodes, and
originally, yeah,
right, and it really did feel like it got cut short and that we were supposed to get more, so, I mean, for me, I'm like, "Ah,
yeah,
I love
yeah,
to
they
have
pretty much took
more mother."
that original
Yeah,
first season and split it and made it into 2 instead of being one long one, and, like, yeah,
yeah,
you're right, it definitely felt like that at the end, but I don't know, I'm ready for it, and at least we don't have to wait 2 or 3 years like we do for continuations for a lot of projects, so,
yeah,
at least helps me sleep at night a little better anyways.
yeah, unlike, what is it? The Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, where we know we're supposed to get that next year.
Right.
that we're not waiting an extra prolonged period of time. So
Correct.
I'm
Yeah.
happy that we're getting it sooner rather than later, unlike the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, yeah, that keeps getting pushed off. Now it's 2027, so ooh,
Yeah.
hopefully that's done being pushed off anymore.
Mhm.
But so we've talked about it a little bit here and there. We get little pieces, and it's nothing that we've been, wanting to hear. But Marvel just hit pause on Blade indefinitely, and kind of talk on like what's going on behind the scenes and why is it indefinitely now. So per Daniel Rickman, he says this it's indefinitely, and then like following a week later, backing up this claim is the recording artist DJ Flying Lotus, aka Steven Ellison, who has taken to X to reveal that he was signed on to write the music for the project before things fell through, and he does not sound optimistic about the film getting back on track.
Mhm.
So I don't know. We know that we keep seeing it's been negative thing and a negative thing. I think it's went through. I think it's changed almost 5 directors. I think it's changed 3 writers. I don't know. After watching Sinners, which I'll kind of talk about a little bit later in the show, Ryan Coogler needs to be the one doing this, writing it and directing it. I don't care
Yeah.
what anybody says. Mahershala Ali, I like you. I get what you were trying to do, but I think they just need to go ahead and pass on the mantle of Blade to someone else. Let Ryan Coogler
Well,
take over.
apparently he's not got it anymore, so it's going to someone else, you know.
Yeah,
So absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
Cause David Coogler,
Ryan
um
Coogler,
oh, sorry, Ryan. Is it Ryan or
Ryan
David?
Coogler.
I'm
No,
sorry,
Ryan. Yeah,
Ryan. It's Ryan. Okay, sorry. But Ryan Coogler is the one that made the Black Panther,
yeah.
and he did
Both of
both
them.
Black Panthers. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So, I mean, if anyone were to do this right by a African American, right,
Hmm.
Blade, I feel like it would be him. And
Oh yeah.
if anybody were to like come at me differently, I feel like that's exactly what needs to happen.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, even when we were watching Deadpool and Wolverine, we had, Wesley Snipes say there's only one blade, there's only ever going to be one blade. And
Hmm.
unfortunate as that is, I feel like they really do have to take a step back and realize what they're trying to do with the project, and and really understand that, that's
Hmm.
just where I'm at in my mind thinking.
Yeah, well, I also I 100% think he should be doing it. Like you said, Black Panther for sure. And then like
Yeah.
after seeing his version of vampires, I'm like, oh
I
yeah,
can't wait for you to talk about that, honestly.
yeah. And I'm gonna do spoiler free later, so because a lot of people
Okay.
still haven't seen it, but definitely, I this movie I say 100%, 100%. But
Yeah.
let's see. Spider-Man's next movie could bring back some major villains. Are we about to see Scorpion and Vulture again? Here's why. Apparently, Spider-Man Brand New Day is out seeking extras for acting as prisoners. So we
Oh,
actually, oh yeah. And last time we see prisoners in Spider-Man was in Spider-Man Homecoming, and we both know that Vulture we've seen in there, and we've seen Scorpion in there from Homecoming. So, is this going to be that same prison we've seen, so many films ago for Spider-Man that's kind of kicked off his own storytelling? Or is it actually, going to be something else? But I think it would be nice, and I want to see a live action Scorpion. But also,
dude, I would be amazed if they could really pull it off.
uh, yeah, and then also Michael Keaton. I mean, put that man on screen as much as we can. And his Vulture was okay, but I think if they bring him back in, um, they can still keep doing justice by the Spider-Man villains we haven't seen, and not keep repeating a whole bunch that we have seen on screen already. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope that's the route we're going. But
No, 100%. Yeah.
yeah. So kind of finish this off with Marvel. You ready to do some DC?
Absolutely. I would love to.
So, Superman movie rumor mill is heating up. And if you believe the latest leaks, here's another latest leak. Ultraman might be stepping in as the villain. So, we see a character from early shots, that was a guy with a crew of, I think, soldiers or whatever it is in a black outfit that had a U right here. And a lot of people are saying that's Ultraman. Uh, but My Time to Shine Hello is saying now that the rumored big boss is going to be Ultraman, which is a clone of Superman. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, yep, and that it's been created by Lex Luthor, and that's going to be the big final boss that they're not really focusing on these trailers and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, here's that picture actually right there.
Ooh.
Yep, and
That has a little U on it. Like, okay, so as someone that has been into the comics and has been into the Vision variants, where you had regular Vision, now you've had White Vision, as we had seen in the media. Is this and I understand that Vision is Marvel, right?
right.
But for Superman, is this something that you could foresee happening in a short period of time for Superman?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're pulling from the comics. We're seeing a plethora of characters already, coming into this. I mean, between Green Lantern, Green Lantern characters, and then Hot Girl, and all kinds of people. I think it's possible. There's also rumor, that it will lead into Bizarro, which was cool. Bizarro literally is the so I've read some Superman comics as a kid, even not many, but I read a few, and then I read like the very first edition. It was not an original edition, but it was a copy of the original edition. And that's not who this
Hmm.
character was in. It was in some others. But Bizarro, looks like Superman, but it's kind of like gray toned skin. His eyes are different color, and he talks backwards almost. Like you have to almost decipher what he's saying because he even speaks backwards. They went like that far reverse with the character of
Oh,
who Superman is.
so
I would love to get a Bizarro. I
so
want a Bizarro so bad in live action because I don't think I could be wrong. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we've seen that
yeah.
on screen to date in live action on anything, whether it be show or movie.
No, I mean the immediate speaking backwards immediately gives me Missy Elliott vibes. I don't know if you're recalling what I'm talking about, but
Uh,
she like speak it and reverse it and she said and I don't know if it was I'm sorry if I'm totally butchering that, but it could be lose control. I feel like it's lose control. But anyway, like that's exactly where I feel like that comes from. And I don't know if that is like that had been spoken
uh,
into comics before that, but that's just exactly where
or say
I
it pops in
feel
your mind.
yeah,
Maybe
and
Bizarro will
I
come in and they'll be playing a Missy Elliott song as his theme song coming in. Then
yeah, okay. So Deontay and Jamie 100% get where I'm coming from. Flip it and reverse it. Yes, 100%. It's a Missy Elliott quote, and I'm sure AD is in the comments absolutely laughing at me because I couldn't exactly quote it. But um yeah.
that's
That's where
hilarious.
I'm at right now. That's
I
where my
would
brain went.
die. I would die if that ended up, and I would not put it past James Gunn if we
Yeah.
did get a Bizarro on screen. And usually there's always some kind of intro music. And he's really big by putting big hits into his movies. If that ended up being like somehow the theme song as we get the first introduction to Bizarro,
Not a theme song.
yeah, or not a theme song, but what I'm saying, like background music as he comes on screen.
Oh. Oh my God. Dude,
Yeah,
if it was a background like music,
that'd be
the
hilarious.
inner musical like musician, if you will, in me would be like
Mm.
absolutely geeking out.
Yeah, that's great. But speaking of all these characters that James Gunn's like not holding back and just bringing into his new DC universe is Lantern star Garrett Dillahunt just teased something big. And wonder if he just confirmed that he's our new Green Arrow. So yeah, he actually teased fans on
Yeah,
social
that
media
middle
with his
picture.
Instagram post. Yes.
Yeah.
He posted this on his Instagram, and that some is that mean he's gonna be playing Green Arrow? I'm just saying, why would an actor put that on there unless it's gotta be that, right?
Yeah.
And like I've seen some fan art since this dropped that people have like kind of done up of him playing Green Arrow. The guy definitely could give us, and once again, he has this comic book accurate look, with like the goatee and stuff. If you've not seen some of the fan art of Garrett Dillahunt, definitely get on there and look. And they actually have some that are like side by side compared with that picture and him. It looks legit. It looks so legit. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I honestly though, for me, that's
Uh-huh.
something that I haven't seen yet is this fan art of
Mhm.
Green Lantern with him. But I mean, honestly, I what else has he been in
Uh,
that we can like recall?
I do not know. Let's see. I'll look it up real
Oh,
quick.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Let's see. Garrett Dillahunt. He has been in No Country for Old Men. That's a big one he's been in. He was in Last House on the Left in 2009.
Mm,
He's been in a whole bunch of like lower film, like lower price films, it looks like. He was in
okay.
Braven with Jason Momoa. He was in the series Deadwood that was pretty popular there for a while. I think it ran for like 3 years. But yeah,
Yeah,
he's confirmed to be in he's confirmed to be in Lanterns. So I think that we may be getting Green Arrow in Lanterns. I truly do.
yeah, no, I mean, I've seen that. As to the rumor mill, rather, is that like he would pop up in lanterns, but um, since we don't really have like an exact estimate as to when Lanterns is supposed to come out on HBO, I didn't really care.
Yeah.
Um, I'm sorry, but
I mean,
like I was
they're
just like,
filming it right now. It could be coming
yeah.
out. Well, we know when it's coming out roughly. It's coming out next year, 100%.
I mean, we still know that Stranger Things is supposed to be coming out this year, and we still don't
Right.
have an exact release date for that. So I don't know, man. Like, I'm kind of just like,
Yeah.
until like
Yeah.
I get that warm fuzzy feeling of the exact date
Right.
of when it's supposed to come out. I don't really
Yeah.
care.
So like I really, don't know of him that much. Lanterns, I love the cast that we know it's going to be in it so far. But like what helped me get excited about this was actually seeing the fan art. And I know it's fan art. It could be nothing that looks like that. It just could not be true.
Yeah,
But when you see the fan art, you're like, "Oh wow." Like that's kind of cool. Just cuz he definitely pulls it off if that's the case. But
yeah.
yeah, we only had a couple things in DC this week. Let's go ahead and jump into some Star Wars. We
All right.
won't really like oh, go ahead.
No, so we got the first 3 episodes of Andor,
Mhm.
because we know that we're supposed to get like I think 4 um like bunches,
Right.
if you will, of Andor,
Right.
as we had talked about on previous episodes of Fundamentals. So we finally got the first big episodes of season 2 of Andor. And I'm gonna let you kick it off, Blake, since this is like more or less your baby than mine.
Yeah, well, I love Star Wars. I guess I do watch more Star Wars than you. But, like, I don't know, I'm enjoying it. It's so I would say we got the first 3 episodes. What Star Wars is doing real quick is, they're dropping this off in, like, batches, right? And these batches that they drop them off is actually gonna be time skips. Every time we get a new batch, it's gonna be a time change. So this isn't all gonna be happening at the same time. And then so Star Wars is getting really creative on doing that and kind of forwarding the stories before we get to the Rogue One movie. But then also, I
Hmm.
think they're kind of playing around with how Netflix does, and they drop these bingeable things. But at the same time, it's bingeable, but they're still getting a weekly drop, which I think is creative. I personally am here for that. They did that with all the Marvel as well. Like, give us 3 episodes, 2 or 3 episodes at a time instead of one, but still do
I'm
weekly
happy with
drop.
getting more than one at once.
Yeah.
If you
Oh
know what I
yeah.
mean?
100%. So, I'll tell the 3 episode titles, and we can just kinda go over, like, how we feel about them and stuff, but episode 1 is 1 year later, episode 2 is Sigrona Tima, and episode 3 is Harvest. Now, I will say,
Mm,
like, I think this is good. I'm not gonna say that they just knocked it out of the park and this has been drop dead amazing, but it's not been bad either. It's
yeah.
carrying on the story. I'm enjoying it. I'm definitely enjoying it. So, The visuals in this was cool. I'm glad that we're finally getting off this planet with the wheat field, because I was like, wow, 3 episodes in, we're still in a wheat field. This is like a different Tatooine. We're always in a
I mean,
boring area.
go. All right, to go from season 1, the last episode where we saw the closer of
Hmm.
them really building up the Death Star, where we
Right.
got to see the Death Star all
Yeah.
like
That was a sick
separated, and
end
we're like,
credit scene. Yeah.
oh, yeah. So season 1 end credit scene where we were like, oh, we see the Death Star, we see
Hmm.
it all separated, and then going back into season 2, we're um,
Yeah, no,
like,
yeah,
all
it's not
right,
it's not
well,
fast paced. Well, see, like, so the episode 1 moved pretty decent for me, and then I felt like episode 2 was pretty slow, and then
yeah,
episode 3 is like, "Okay, we're picking back up." That's kinda
yeah,
the speed of each episode to me, kinda how it went, and then also, like, if in case nobody knows, we do a time jump too from, the 1st season to season 2 as well, so
yeah.
but, yeah, they're
I
not
mean,
bad, and it kinda drops off with,
yeah,
I can't think of the guy's name, but we had a one of the main characters die that was from the last one, and then
Brazo.
yeah, there we go, Brasso, thank you. But,
Yeah,
yeah, and they're finally getting off that planet. So Andor came down, picked him up in the I will say this TIE fighter, sick.
dude,
So sick.
this TIE
This
fighter.
this is the sickest TIE fighter and, like, details of a TIE fighter I think I've ever seen on screen, ever in Star Wars history.
Yeah, yeah. I have read that is the same TIE fighter that has been in the
Mhm.
Kylo Ren
Mhm.
uh episode. What
Well,
is that? 7, 8, 9
yeah.
time frame? I don't know, cuz I I will not bring myself to watch another second of 7, 8, or 9. But
A second go around of those. Huh.
yeah.
I'm getting
So
ready to do it, actually.
that
Yeah,
is not that
yeah.
is not my forte.
Mhm.
Now, the fact that this leads up to Rogue One, I absolutely adore that, and I would love to know more about the story.
Right.
Um, where we have, the rebel cause that is building up, and I love that absolutely, especially where we are at right now in history.
Mhm.
And sorry to bring that into this, but really right where we are in history as to where we are watching this Andor season, it really ties together. So I love really all of that because it really speaks to home, if you will.
Mhm.
But to see the second episode where they are doing an arranged marriage of sorts, where they're marrying the two offspring together, and now the third episode where um, the guy of the child that's being, you know, in this
Mhm.
arranged marriage is like, just be thankful of where you're at. And then seeing the girl just kind of like dancing in like a rave type scene, just kind of like forgetting about where she's at in life.
Yeah. She did a few shots back.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, though, like, it really speaks to where you're at,
Yeah, well, so that's
in
funny
thought
you say
process.
that. So I actually was gonna say, I hope people are watching this and becoming fans of it because it's good, it's decently written, and not just because it's relatable and seems cool on Rebellion. That's kinda
Yeah,
like actually where I'm at it, because, like, Star Wars is one of those things that takes you out of the reality, right? It's kind of an escape. It's been political, but it's always been its own universe political and not tying into real life stuff. And I hope that it doesn't ever lean into tying into real life stuff, because this is our real life escape. And that goes for the fandom. I hope people are loving it because it's written well. They're doing decent with it. And I think Andor is. I'm not saying Andor is the best thing out there, but I will say it's done well and I enjoyed it. So I hope people
yeah.
are liking it for the right reason. But I do. What about this? I will say this is something that kind of surprised me, and I didn't realize that it's kind of odd, but it works. And even though it's odd and kind of off-putting, I like it. And that's the relationship now between Karis and Dedra, right? Like they had his mom come over, and then I like,
Yo!
you don't see no like normal intimacy between them two being a couple, but they have their own intimate ways in an odd way of showing love for each other, and I like it. And I like
Yeah.
how she
No,
put
I
her
mean,
his mom in her place too.
oh shit, dude. She Dedra
Yes.
was like, "Look here, bitch." Like in like the coolest type of way, like, "Hey, look, I am marrying into your family. I'm not trying to like create like wakes,
Uh,
but at the same time, you are fucking up your kid's life. And
yeah,
let me like show you the outside perspective." And I think that's just so wholesome, if you will.
yeah.
Um
I like how
like
she didn't beat around the
how
bush. Like once he was out of the room,
yeah.
she's like,
Yeah.
Listen, this is how it's going to be. This is what's
Yeah.
right, and that's what you're going to do, or you're
Yeah.
not going to be a part of this."
100%. I thought that was amazing. And
Yes.
I, it's not really so much as I felt at home because I know where I'm at in like my relationship and stuff, but so much as like I can see that other people are like, "Oh man, I really feel like I have some leg to stand on because this is what happened in this fictional universe." But
Hmm.
at the same time, that just really like speaks to human beings, if you will.
Oh yeah, because you know how many people are in that situation, but never have the nerve to stand up and do the right thing, and so they deal with it for years and years and years, and like,
Yeah.
so
And
yeah,
then you snap.
yeah,
You do
yeah.
that.
Some do, and some
Yeah.
don't. They just cave in. They snap or they
Yeah.
cave in. Either one's
Yeah.
not good. So it's best to
There's
nip it
there's
in the
only
bud at the
there's
beginning.
only two ways to go about that. And
Right.
I'm always me
Hmm.
as a human being, right? I'm always amongst that belief that I'm going to create waves about who I am and what I believe in rather than just letting it like
Sure.
surpass me. And I'm sure that you've seen it, time and time again, but that's just who I am.
Yeah, that's what like Deb at Big River Comic Con. She's like, I just love Taylor. She's like, she's very no nonsense and straightforward. She's like, she's one of my new favorite people. So yeah, no, people get it for sure, and it's a good
Yeah.
thing. But Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith is back in theaters for its 20th anniversary, and it just broke records as the biggest theatrical re-release ever. So I got my tickets for Monday night, but this is re-releasing in 2,775 theaters. It's the biggest domestic re-release ever in cinema history. I am so ready for this. Like I did not ever expect to get to see this again in theater. And out
Yeah.
of the prequel trilogy, this is my favorite one out of the prequel trilogy. So
Really?
yeah, out of the first three, oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Return of the
I don't
Jedi is
know.
my favorite out of the original trilogy, and then this one is my favorite out of the prequel trilogy.
I don't
Two
know.
is close. Two is close.
Yeah,
But
and that's exactly where I'm going is that like
yeah.
2 is really close. And now I know that 1 is long forgotten sequel,
Well,
or prequel rather.
yeah.
But like Qui-Gon Jinn or
Yeah.
Liam Neeson
Uh-huh.
has time and time again said that he would love to come back
Oh, and he'd have to come back
as
as a Force
Qui-Gon Jinn.
ghost. That's the only way.
He did, and he did that because he didn't want to be rewritten
Mhm.
for Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? For the sequel that was made for the series, but um I don't know, man. Like I would love to see really him before all of this
Yeah.
happened and
Well, the only
see.
way I think with his age, like the way that it would make sense for them to put him in like in a regular as Qui-Gon Jinn movie, and they couldn't do it with him and Obi-Wan, right? Because that would just be too much de-aging on both of them to do a movie or a series. So they could
Yeah.
almost bring Qui-Gon back in to maybe an apprentice he had before he took Obi-Wan as apprentice, and they would just have to de-age Liam Neeson just one person instead of two. Either way, they'd have to de-age him regardless if they don't do Force Ghost.
Yeah, no, I mean, they could, or they could find another character that would represent him. And as like we've seen Dennis Quaid with Jack Quaid as being his, younger self.
Oh,
And
where at? What's that on?
I have
Wait, are you
I
talking about
don't
no,
think they've done.
you're talking about Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell from the Monarch series.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but I'm saying that like with their parents and their offspring is something that they have or they could theoretically do with like Goldie Hawn and oh shoot, what is her name? How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Um
Meg Ryan? No,
no.
no, Hudson, Kate
No.
Hudson, Kate Hudson.
Uh is it Kate Hudson?
Yeah,
I
well,
feel
Goldie Hawn is actually Kurt Russell's wife. The mom of Wyatt Russell plays U.S. agent.
well, I'm talking about their daughter.
They have a daughter?
They have it? Oh,
Let's
she
see.
has a daughter. Goldie Hawn has a daughter. Um,
Oh,
shoot.
yeah, it's Kate
Kate Hudson.
Hudson.
It is Kate Hudson.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah, I was
Erica.
uh, eh, yeah, that's
Yeah. No, no, no. You're
yeah.
absolutely right, Blake, that it is Kate Hudson. I couldn't just, I guess, really see it until like really just thinking about it. But I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Overboard. They've remade it in like years and years later.
Mhm.
And Erica's on IMDb, and I super appreciate you. Um, and here we go with like Jamie, 100% backing us, and I appreciate that. But I don't know, man. Like, there are characters that you can see as like their older selves, where you see them
Mhm.
now in Hollywood, and you can see them as their younger selves, and you can see them de-aged, where they wouldn't have to de-age them because
Mhm.
they have kids. So Goldie Hawn into Kate Hudson and Dennis Quaid into Jack Quaid, and well, I mean, we've seen a million of them, and thank you, Jamie. As you said, you've seen Overboard a million times. I 100% have too, and that's where I'm at in my mindset. Is I'm like, oh God, there's another Overboard, but I don't really talk about it because it's not the right one. But anyway, um, yeah, I'm sorry. I completely digress. This conversation is the 20th anniversary, and Qui-Gon Jinn. Ah, has Liam Neeson had a child?
I don't know.
Where okay, I'm sure they could de-age him, but de-aging technology. I'm as I've
Yeah, Liam
seen
Neeson
it
has 2 sons,
in. He has.
yeah, and they're both around, like, the age of 30. They're, like, 1 year apart. Daniel Neeson and Michael Neeson, born in '95 and '96.
Well, that's my age. So, um, I mean, like, you could de-age Liam Neeson and you could have a Dial of Destiny type scenario at Indiana Jones, if those of you have not aware, where you could de-age him and AI 100% is there
Yeah.
for it. But if you have the practical effects, where we've talked about it time and time again on this podcast, that is so much better um, to AIing,
Well, I
if that's
don't
the
think you could
word.
use practical effects to de-age him, though.
What, for Liam Neeson?
Yeah.
You could, but
How?
I mean, you would just make his face like.
Give it put, like, a prosthetic overlay of smooth skin?
I mean, yeah, no, I was like, make his face
Yeah.
less
I don't know.
wrinkly. I don't.
I would agree if this was, like, 5 years ago, but I think,
Yeah,
like, the past couple of times, like we've seen with Harrison Ford, and as we've seen them get better with de-aging Luke Skywalker, it's actually gotten pretty good and pretty realistic. I would almost say
yeah.
if they were going to de-age him, they could almost pull off and it look natural, with technology now. Matt, I bet I don't know if Liam Neeson would wanna go through all the prosthetics over and over and over shooting at his age.
I mean, it's not even so much that, it's just that like, the same thing with like voice actors and
Mhm.
how they um don't really want to use, or they don't want AI to use their voice to recreate what they had been, which is
Yeah.
like
Well,
James Earl Jones. Like,
yeah. Well, I'm not no, I'm not saying create an AI version of a younger Liam Neeson. Let it be Liam Neeson, but do some CGI touch-ups where you make him look younger.
yeah,
Yeah, so you're not recreating the likeness of him. It is him, but they're just touching up the oldness of him with technology and
Yeah.
the aging. I don't know. We'll find
No,
out if he
I
gets
can
healthy again one day.
100%. I could see it happening. It's just that, like, would we ever want that to happen, or would we? I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
I'd want it to happen if
I
they're
don't
gonna
know.
do it. Yeah.
I don't know.
But, speaking of old characters from Star Wars that, we'd like to see again, I think a lot of people would, Bryce Dallas Howard dropped a bomb that she straight up asked Dave Filoni if Mace Windu's really did, and now rumors are flying. So, as we
He
all know,
straight up said,
Samuel L.
yeah,
Jackson has played, Mace Windu, and he's made it very vocal that he would love to return. But Bryce Dallas Howard, as we know, she's did, some directing a couple at least one, maybe a couple episodes in the Mandalorian series. But she wants to do more in Star Wars, and she actually just recently stated on Happy, Sad, and Confused podcast that that she had went straight to Dave Filoni and was like, "Hey, so let's talk about Mace Windu and where he is. Can we just talk about this? Because is he dead? Is he?" And she didn't even really tell us after that, I don't think, what, Dave Filoni's reply was. So it makes
yeah,
me feel like it's still possible that we could, get something with her because also she and, Samuel L. Jackson have worked together before, and he states he's told Bryce, he's like, "Listen, any other project you do, holler at me." He's like, "I got you." He's like, "I wanna be in some more
holla.
yeah, he's like, "I wanna be in other projects that you're in," 'cause he enjoys working with her that much. So, I don't know, between all of these little pieces putting in and adding up, I think they would be doing a disservice to Star Wars fans, and I think Star Wars fans would eat it up. If Bryce Dallas Howard was directing it and running it, they brought in Samuel L. Jackson back as Mace Windu, it could be like where he's at now, because we see him fly out that, window, and after I think his left hand got cut off, or maybe his right hand, whichever one it is. And so
Yeah,
it's super easy to give this
from
guy
fucking Palpatine. Yeah,
right, right. So like it could easily be done, easily be done. So I'm here
yeah.
for it. I'm in full support.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like, they're okay. So, like, the Star Wars fandom, or whatever you would want to call us, is that we've been super, like, pro Samuel L. Jackson coming back, and the fact that he has now officially said that he would love to come back, I would love to see him in another project. I don't know what it would be at this point.
Oh no.
Um, if it would be another series that they would
Mm,
revamp, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, or anything like that, where we would see another likeness of Samuel L. Jackson come back. I don't
right.
know. But would I love to see Samuel L. motherfucking Jackson come back? Is absolutely, because that's his full government name, you know.
Oh, right,
Uh,
right.
yeah, no, 100%.
Nobody can use that phrase like he can. So
Oh my God, no, right? Like, anytime that you see him, you're immediately like,
oh yeah. Well,
yeah, you're
that's what
immediately there.
it still astounds me that he has not slipped that in and all of the Marvel stuff he's been in yet. It's like, man, is this really Samuel L. Jackson? Because is it really him without saying that?
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like Marvel's a whole different beast that you're taxing,
But
are attacking with
right,
Nick Fury,
yeah,
right? Like, when can you see Nick Fury say "motherfucker"? Like, maybe right before
Deadpool
he blipped.
Wolverine.
Okay, so you're saying that, but I'm saying right before he blipped, when he
Yeah,
was
yeah, he said mother and it
messaging.
went off. Yeah, when he was
Exactly.
calling for Carol Danvers' help. Yeah,
Right. Captain Marvel, man. Like, right there is where I would have seen it, foresee it happening. Um, but Erica's right there where, like, how did he not get the first F bomb
yeah.
in Marvel?
Well, funny thing is,
Um,
I think the first F bomb ended up being Chris Pratt, not even Deadpool. And
and and that's exactly what Erica said, is that, like, how was it actually
yeah,
Chris Pratt? Like,
I, I
that's
will
absolutely
say
insane.
it was the perfect unexpected surprise when Chris Pratt did it though in Guardians 3. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's yes, yep, 100%. But they should still before they kick him out and he ages out or whatever his character ages out, they should allow him to get it one time before he leaves the
Oh,
MCU. We'll
yeah,
we'll, we'll see what
absolutely.
happens. But yeah, that kind of wraps us up for Star Wars. Jump into some educated wish.
Let's go.
So As we have said, it's not their best season, but the Righteous Gemstones just dropped episode 7 for Jealousy is the Rage of Man. And jealousy in this whole entire season is tearing this family apart. But in this episode, we actually get to see a little bit of what you would call,
Camaraderie, if you will. Yeah.
yeah, in a weird odd way, but it was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So like I've said time and time again, I am not happy with this season.
Me neither.
However, this episode has hit me in my feelings
Mm.
as uh Calvin has actually he became the what was it? Jesus Man of the Year or
Yeah,
whatever they call it.
top
Um
something Christian man or top something
Top
Christian.
Christian Man of the Year.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely like ridiculous title, but the fact that he got it was absolutely amazing because uh right before he got it, he came out as a gay man and that was absolutely empowering and beautiful as I mean like any human being and I love that for him. And that was it really hit towards society, if you will. I'm sorry
mm,
to hit it back
yeah.
there,
No,
but
no, no, I mean, yeah, well, they incorporate a lot of that in the show, but at the same
yeah,
time, like, there's moments where it's really hard to take serious notes
yeah,
serious with this
yeah.
show is nothing but laughter.
Especially when Judy was talking with their soon-to-be stepmom about like, "Oh, you're touching me wrong," and I'm like, that 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 part was like super cringy to
Super
me
cringe, yeah.
because
This season's been a
um
lot of cringe, to be honest.
God damn it. There's been a lot of cringe about this season. You're absolutely right, Blake. But there's a lot of parts of the season that have brought it together, and it's really this episode that really brought it together. That um they came up to Calvin's treehouse and in their like stupid like
Dream
jetpack room.
treehouse, by the way. Like, this is
Yeah,
a
no,
treehouse of treehouses right here.
it's 100% a treehouse to end all treehouses where
Yes.
he's eating cheese balls in all of the things that he's eating, right? And they come up and they're like, "Hey man, get off your fucking ass. Like it's time to show who's fucking boss." And he's just like, "Man, like I'm not even going to win it. Why show my face?" And to anybody who has been in that position that um really doesn't feel like they have anything to say. I mean, shoot, dude, like there are all these different nerd podcasts that are out there that we feel like we're not even touching, but I feel like we still bring something to the
Right.
table.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's all about showing face. But I mean, like it's just like they tell him to show face and he ends up winning it and that's just a beautiful thing
Mic drop.
even though
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, no, 100% mic drop, but
Yeah.
even though this episode was 100% not what I wanted it to be, uh that
That there was still it was still good
that
too, like, 'cause
part,
yeah,
yeah,
well, you get to see a side of the all the brothers and sisters that you don't get to see because they
yeah,
backstab each other so much, and I'm
yeah,
gonna say out of all the seasons, this is probably the most supportive we've seen them of each other, which was a nice change. It was a nice this is probably the best I think it's probably the best thing that's came out of this new season, to be honest with you. Um,
yeah.
so, yeah, but I don't know. I really hope that however many episodes we got 1 episode left, is that right? No.
Maybe one,
Maybe
maybe
1 or 2.
two, yeah,
I just really hope they go balls to the walls with comedy like it has in all the previous season, because the comedy has just not been there. I mean, honestly, I feel like Walton Goggins is carrying the season.
oh, and I've told you this, right, Blake, is that like I would love
Oh, yeah.
for them to come out with a just spin-off of straight up
Him.
Baby Billy's Bible Bunkers, just a straight up season, just one season of
Yes.
him doing that spiel, and I would absolutely love it. Now I understand that he's also the ghoul in Fallout, and he's got a
Yeah.
lot going on for him, which
Lots, so much.
I absolutely love that for Walton Goggins, and I think he's a brilliant actor. But I would love to for him to just one season only, just show off his Baby Billy Bible Bonkers,
Yep.
uh, Jeopardy type, like, season where he has, and I told this to Blake, but I would love him to have a bunch of celebrities on it, and they all believe that he is Baby Billy Bob Bonkers or Walton Goggins, and then for him to completely like throw them through a loop, uh, and completely like have them try to stay in character as they like are going through this. I think that would be
Oh
hilarious.
yeah, and mark my words. I know I said this the other day, but I'm putting it out there for the world to know. I'm cosplaying as Baby Billy one day. I don't know when. I'm not throwing that out there, but I am cosplaying as Baby Billy one day. I think it'd be too hilarious and too fun.
As
Uh,
only if you wear pants.
oh yeah, yeah. I'm not cosplaying as Baby Billy water skiing. I will
Yeah,
actually dress up as Baby Billy doing Bible bonkers in some flashy suit.
dude,
That's what
all
that probably
white,
is. Yeah,
all white with the
I'm gonna get
white like
I'm gonna get the prosthetic headpiece with the white hair. I'm gonna get some
yeah.
bright big white teeth. Get the big old Elvis sunglasses.
Dude, that would be amazing. If I had ever seen anybody cosplay as Baby Billy, I would lose everything. I would be like, I don't care what cosplay I'm in right now. I need to go take a picture next to this man. Like, I don't care.
One thing I do is like whenever I decide to do it, I just really hope wherever I'm at, most people get who I am, and it's not one of those deals where you're like, "Oh, this is a great idea," but then everybody's, "Who are you?" And then,
So honestly though, so I went to Phoenix Fan Fusion, and there was one outfit that was completely like off the wall. I didn't think anybody would recognize it, but it
hmm
was Office Space. I don't know if you've ever watched it, but Aniston's character, she was in tchotchkes, and she had the 12 pieces of flair on her
I've
like
not seen this.
suspenders. So see, all right. So I thought that nobody would ever um get it, but there were like three people that actually got it, and
Really?
that was all I needed. That was all
Yeah.
the
Just need
validation
that
that I
little bit of
needed.
confirmation, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
And so, I mean, honestly, dude, like, I feel like AD said, Manchester, like, do it and just do it for you.
Yeah.
Do it for the podcast. Like,
Oh yeah.
go for
Well,
it,
it's just gonna make my heart happy. Like it's gonna like us three, like we'll know what it is, and that's enough just for us to have a great time with it. So,
dude.
man.
Next
But
year, we go to any fan fusions. We've
yeah,
already spoken it into existence. If we go to like a I don't know, we said Chicago
Fan
Fan
Expo,
Fusion. Yeah,
Fan
Fan
Expo.
Expo,
Yeah, yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Chicago.
Or
They're all over the U.S. So San
they're
Francisco,
all over the place,
Denver.
right?
Yeah,
If we even go to that, and that would be amazing, and 100% we would cosplay. I'd make
yeah,
a whole cosplay just for that. Shoot, dude, I made a whole cosplay for Big River Comic Con, which is a lower, closed event type scenario, but
well,
I loved it.
smaller. Yeah,
Yeah, but I
yeah.
mean, we had a great time, and
Oh yeah,
I will 100% would have loved to have cosplayed for them, and we did like all of our panels in
yeah.
cosplay, and I
Yeah, and
mean,
there was a lot of people for a smaller con. There's a lot of people that showed up in cosplay there. A lot. Like there's been cons I've seen bigger than that, like even twice that size, and they had just
mhm.
as many cosplayers at that smaller con than they did at the bigger ones. I was shocked, but that made me so happy to see such a smaller community like come in and be that full blown with it.
Yeah.
Um, Alien Earth is teasing phase 1 through 5, and it's one of the
Dude.
creepiest buildups we've seen in years. How
Ugh.
creative is this? I'll let you, take over and talk about this.
Okay, so on their Earth Day is when they started it, and it was absolutely amazing. So they started out with a day one, a poster, and they were just like the Earth needs to be protected, and then they moved on from a phase 1 to a phase 5, where
Yes.
you had like the emergence of the gestation complete, or gestation, sorry, and you had the alien xenomorph,
Yes.
form just growing and completing its molecular form into what an alien actually is. And it was creepy, and it had the same music throughout, and you're just like, oh, it's so creepy,
It made
but
me
you
slightly
love it.
uncomfortable. That's it. I couldn't take
Absolutely.
my eyes off, but I was like, "Ooh."
And that's exactly what it is that
Yeah.
it is supposed to make you feel uneasy.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, for someone who isn't a part, of Alien or anything, it made me also feel the super unease of,
Yeah.
this is where they want you to feel, is the uneasy. You can feel the alien life form coming together, and soon to becoming, you see the claws coming out of its like
Yes.
flesh, and you're like, it's about to happen. And because Alien Earth is like so far before Alien
Right.
itself, um and it's supposed to be the emergence of it becoming into the alien Earth, like whatever spaceship it is coming to Earth itself.
Right.
Um and you're supposed to feel that uneasiness, and you're just like, oh man, it's right there, and you feel that uneasiness, and you're just like, okay, well, it's happening summer. When is it happening summer?
Yeah.
Because we're like, what, 3 months away
Yeah.
from it hitting June, July timeframe, and you're just like, oh, when is this coming out? When am I supposed to? And that's an uneasiness, uh just the at your seat's edge, like, I just
Yeah.
want to know more, kind of thing.
Right. Right. And if anybody wants to know like the phases, you went through the phases with me and explained them. I was like, oh, but they're rapid cytokinesis. Phase 2 is neurogenesis. Phase 3 is hypertrophy. Phase 4 is morphogenesis, and phase 5 is gestation complete. And I was
Yeah.
like, ugh, yeah,
And as soon as you have that Mestation complete, phase 5 is where you also got an extra teaser trailer at that, on top of it, where we saw what you had pulled up was the in containment, like, that it's about to
oh
pop
yeah,
out and start to
this,
eat
yeah,
faces. Yeah, so is that. And that shit's about to pop off,
oh yeah,
and you're just waiting. It's creepy. It's great. It's on IGN. You can watch all 5 of them plus more, because it's not just these 5. It's an extra 2. So you have like 7 whole
which is wild,
phases, or 7 whole like trailers to
right?
watch, and it's absolutely great.
It
It's
is.
beautiful.
Well, it's crazy. Like I've never seen a production either like drop that many in one time. Like I think it's the first time I've ever seen that done ever. But
It's it's
they did it so
beautifully
creatively
done.
well. Yeah,
Yeah. Because
yeah.
it was like Earth Day, and it's like, hey,
Mm,
it's alien Earth, and we need to protect the universe. So we need to protect Earth
mm.
specifically. And then Earth all of a sudden is having a baby, which is a xenomorph, and it's about to fuck your shit in. Like,
Oh, for sure.
I need to bust out my Ripley outfit. I need to get a gun, and I need to pew pew pew. Like, I need to like get up in there. Um,
And for those who
uh,
want to know this, like this was an FX product that will release on Hulu as well. So it's
yeah.
not a cinema deal, but oh man, I can't wait. I'm curious to see how they drop this out too. So if it's gonna be all at
Ah,
once or if it's gonna be once a week, it'd be interesting to find out. I think it's gonna be once
dude,
a week,
I
but
need more.
oh yeah,
I
I'm
don't
ready for it.
care what it is. I just need more. I
Yeah,
don't care. Okay.
but Wednesday Adams is back. Season 2 just dropped its first official poster and teaser, and it's giving the great dark vibes that it always gives. So, one thing we'll say that what they're doing with this though, there's a scene from the trailer is they're apparently doing this in a part one and a part two. It seems to be a pretty ongoing thing that Netflix has been doing a lot lately is part one and part twos. We see no part where we don't see any Lady Gaga on this trailer. So I'm wondering now if Lady Gaga is going to be in the part two, but not going to be in the first part, or if they're just
Mhm.
kind of keeping her character under wraps and to be a
Yeah.
surprise until it comes out. So,
Yeah, like
uh,
who
we,
exactly she's playing kind of thing.
right, right. So I don't know. We'll find out if she's going to be in this and a surprise or not, and she won't be into the later part. Because I think the first part drops in August if I remember correctly, and then the second part's not dropping until September. So at least they are very close together when they drop. I think
Yeah.
they're going to be roughly a month apart. So
Yeah, I don't exactly remember as to when they're dropping, but I know they're close consecutive, if you will,
mm,
as to them dropping.
right.
But as to another thing that is kind of like something that dropped before but is now coming out again. Malcolm in the Middle. We've talked about it again on the
Yeah.
podcast, but we have a set pick of Malcolm in the Middle. It's with Frankie Muniz, and Bryan Cranston and his mother, uh, Jane. And we don't really have like a whole heck of a lot of
Mm.
information as to when this is supposed to come out, but we didn't really hear about it since back in 2000, and correct me if I'm wrong,
I can't even remember.
2008. I
It's,
don't even
it is
know,
early
right?
2000s.
Exactly. It's very early 2000s that the last time that it came out, and now they're continuing on with the story, which I think is absolutely amazing that they're continuing with the nostalgia, because I have lots of nostalgia from the 90s. And I'm sure you do too, and
Oh yeah.
everybody out there that's listening. Uh, but I love that they are continuing something out there, and they have this picture that they released from the set, kind of a behind the scenes picture, and Bryan Cranston with his like light salty peppered hair, and I'm like, oh, mm, this man. But I love to see that Frankie Muniz is back in action
Yeah.
since when the early 2000s, since he's been doing anything, because he did that, and then he did oh shoot, what was a Big Fat Liar. I don't know
Oh
if
yeah.
you
Yeah. Paul
do you
Giamatti.
remember that
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
the movie where he turned Paul
Blue.
Giamatti into a blue man.
Yeah.
Yes, and they had the whole I'm blue da ba dee ba ba da.
I used to
Anyway,
sing the crap out of that song.
I still do, but I love that like he is back in the scene, kind of like Lindsay Lohan. Um, I'm pretty sure Amanda Bynes was in that movie, if I'm
Yeah,
not
it was Frankie
mistaken.
Muniz, Amanda Bynes, and Paul Giamatti was the 3 big actors in it.
Yeah, see? Oh, see, Erica's right there. He did a season of Dancing with the Stars. I wonder
Okay.
how he actually did with that, and if he could move. I feel like he's kind of robotic, but I
Frankie
could be
Muniz?
completely wrong. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I
I
don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
could be wrong, and that's exactly what I said. Is that like I could be completely wrong
That'd be funny you
with
say that
saying that.
comment, and then we pull it to watch it, and all he's doing is robot moves, actually.
Or he could be completely like Rique Suave, right? Like completely
Yeah,
smooth at
yeah.
moves. But who knows? But something else that they're are bringing back, but not really bringing back, but continuing, is Emily in Paris.
Okay.
This is a Netflix series that I'm completely obsessed with, and it's me. I am obsessed, and I
I've still not
understand.
watched it yet.
I understand that there's a lot of people that just don't really care about it anymore, and that's okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we're on season 5, and
Mm.
it does tend to repeat itself. We
Ah,
are kind of in the
okay.
like, all
Ti
right,
time to finish it off type thing.
yeah, but I don't know, man. Like
Hmm.
I absolutely love it because it's someone who is who does not speak French in a because
Uh,
she's Emily in Paris. She goes to Paris and she goes to a fashion industry and um kind of tries to incorporate into their culture and tries to incorporate into the French speaking role. And I absolutely love it. And now we are in Rome. So the
okay.
season 5 is going to debut in Rome. For those of you who have not watched it and aren't really familiar with it, but Camille, um, who is a love interest of Gabrielle, who is Emily, her kind of like love interest, who is
Right.
a professional chef, who has Camille, who is his girlfriend that turns into his fiance that they don't ended up marrying, and she takes on a gay lover, and
Oh,
she ends up saying that she has a kid, but then she ended up not actually having a kid.
so a
But
bunch of
anyway,
drama.
yes, absolutely. That's exactly what this story is all about, which is probably why I love it, because it's just like
Right.
I love the drama, but I don't love too much drama that I'm like it's overdone and
Sure.
dry. There's lots of different drama aspects to Emily in Paris.
Okay.
Um, but in the season 5 is just begun filming, and Camille, she has said that she is not going to actually return, which it's not that like she is upset about how the future of the seasons are going. It's just she thinks that her character has been run out, and she is ready to move on with her acting career, and she is very open to coming back. Um, so she's just like, hey, look, like nothing is bad. I will not be in season 5.
Right.
Which I'm happy for, because I think that it's time for Emily to move on. Um, who is Phil Collins, Lily Collins. Phil Collins had a daughter who
Right.
is Lily Collins, and
Mhm.
that is his daughter, who is Emily in Paris.
Oh,
For
okay. I
those
did
of
not
you who
know
did not
this.
know, yeah,
Okay.
uh, beautiful singing voice, but she is Emily, and she has like this entire thing going on for her, and she's moving on with her life and moving on with the greater aspects of where she could possibly be. And I absolutely love that for her, because she's an independent woman that is um great.
Nice. So, time for some real talk about a movie everyone must see. This is my unfiltered, spoiler-free review on Sinners. Oh my god. If you have not seen this movie, don't walk, run. Run to the theaters and see it.
Mm-hmm.
As we were speaking, Ryan Coogler, man, this guy is so freaking talented and amazing. He wrote this and directed it, and the cast, like, so Michael B. Jordan, I like him in a lot of things, and there's some things I'm like, it's all right. It wasn't. I've never seen him do anything awful, but like, so he's not like a huge favorite of mine, but he's done some amazing work. And then you have Haley Steinfeld in it, who's kind of the same way. She has some stuff I love, and then she has some stuff, and not so much. But there's other cast in this, and the whole cast was perfect.
Yeah.
The cinematography, perfect. His take on vampires, this is why this man needs to do Blade. I love his take on vampires. And you know, this is a predated setting that you see, I think, in the 1930s is what it is.
30s, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And like I love like I don't love that time era for things that went on, but I love that time era for like the music, and then
Yeah.
also like the way the dressing is, the way people dress back then. I love how people dressed in the 30s and 20s. But oh my god, it literally he made you feel like you literally truly stepped back into that time. But the cinematography, the lighting, some of the one shots he did, like I'm just saying a spoiler me explaining this, but so you're like you get this road down the middle, and you have
Mm-hmm.
like like market. It's like not a market, but you have businesses on both sides of it.
Okay.
They literally do a one shot of someone walking out of a business across the road. She gets her mom behind the register of another deal. It never stops, and then follows the mom back where the daughter stays. It goes all the way back across the road back into the same building. Like the cinematography is great. The one shots are great.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, his take on vampires, like he didn't go where like you see a lot of people do this. You know, there's so many vampire projects out there, and
Yeah.
people always want to throw their little spin, a little different spin. You know, no, this is classic vampire. It's
Yeah.
classic vampire. It works. It's beautiful. It's gory, but like everything is so perfectly well balanced in this movie, and it's fun. There never was a moment in this where I'm like, oh, this is kind of a slow spot, or I felt like, oh, this moved
No,
too fast. The pacing was
I've
great.
heard that the music aspect, the score, if you will, is
Yes,
absolutely beautiful
yes,
for this film.
it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So I'm a
I've heard
big.
that there's tap dancing in it too, of all aspects, which is amazing.
I can't remember if there's tap dancing in it. I don't remember
Oh,
seeing, but I'm not saying there's not. There probably
okay.
is because there's a certain scene. Oh, that I want to tell so bad because it was. I'm just gonna say this. There's a music scene. I'm not going to describe it, but it was probably one of my all-time favorite music scenes I ever have seen done in any film. That was the most creative I've seen to be done in that time era. I'm gonna leave
Yeah.
it at that. I'm telling you, like it was beautiful. It was amazing. There's moments in the movie that's moving. Uh, if you've not seen this, see this. This is one that I will definitely watch often from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's that good.
That's that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I have heard of that. So I am, as somebody who hasn't seen it yet, I
Hmm.
am very much interested to see this film time and time again. It seems like a timeless type film.
Yes.
I do love Michael B. Jordan and how he has acted in
Hmm.
numerous amount of films. I have heard it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I do like Ryan Coogler with his um Black Panther, and
Hmm.
Apollo, I believe, is something else that he's
Creed.
done.
Yeah.
Creed, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Thank you. I couldn't even remember what that name was. Um, but yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about this.
And I can't think of the actor's name, and I feel so bad for not writing this down. But one of the main actors in this. He plays blues, and I love blues. I love blues, live blues. Like I'm not one to like put it on YouTube or pull it up on Spotify, but
Hmm.
if I ever come across like a live blues band, I promise you, my ass is sitting there listening to it or standing up and tapping along to it. I love live blues
Oh,
band. But this guy, when they play the blues music in this, and this guy's voice, so unique and
yeah.
so good. Like
Okay, kind of like Louis
yeah.
Armstrong type,
And
like.
and there is 2 after credit scenes in this. 2.
Oh.
So, if you've not watched it, make sure there's one, like, slowly after the credits start, it happens, and a lot of
Hmm.
people left in theater I was watching it in, and you have to stay to the very end because there's one at the very, very end too. It's worth it. Oh my god, it's so good. I wanna go see it again. Miles Catton. Yes, thank you. That dude's it's a beautiful man voice, I'm telling you right now. It's so
Beautiful
beautiful.
man voice.
Yes. No, like, it's just good. You'll know once you watch it.
Yeah,
I
no,
can go on
I
about this. I'm trying not to go and spoil it, so but,
no, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But I cannot wait to watch this. Something else that I cannot wait to watch that comes out in theaters here very soon, May 23rd, is Mission Impossible. Final
yes.
Reckoning, the Final Reckoning, if you will. We have an official runtime that it is 2 hours and 51 minutes. Um, it is on the longer side, and a lot of people are very excited for it. And I'm happy that they have made this as long as it is, because it's supposed to be the final, one. So I can't wait for it to come out on streaming and to finally watch it.
And you're a huge Alien fan, as we talk about all the time, because so much Alien stuff has came out and it's so good. But my favorite is Predator, and the Predator is back. Okay, we get the first Badlands teaser, and it looks absolutely brutal. It looks
Dude, with
so
the
good.
fucking face.
You're all right. Here we are. There's our new look at
Ah,
Predator. That is so
yes.
beautiful. I don't care what anybody says. Like, so I've seen some people on the internet like, "Oh, this looks different. That don't look good." If I've got it, I'll post it on our socials. But there is a picture of every single Predator from every single film project that's been done. They vary throughout every single film. Quit your whining. I love the look of this. Like, oh my god, I this is what
Everybody
I'm
has
so
their
excited for.
own idea of what they want it to be, and
Mhm,
I am happy.
mm,
Honestly, I'm happy with how his tusks, if you will, his mouth
mhm.
teeth thingies,
Whatever
kind
they're
of like,
called. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, but like the way that they like enact in
Mm,
this trailer, I was just like, oh fuck, like
yeah.
this is
Well,
good,
I
like
love too how we're getting them stripped down, where they're not just covered up with so much armor, so we're getting to see a lot more of the alien, rawness of them, and,
yeah,
it's a beautiful teaser, like, if you've not watched it, you need to watch it.
yeah. Speaking of another trailer that you need to watch, Heads of State. Absolutely amazing. So John Cena plays the president, and then Idris Elba plays the prime minister, and the two of them are kind of like head to head. And then all of a sudden, like there's like an attack on their lives, so now they're on the run together, and they meet up with Jack Quaid, who's Dennis Quaid's son, like we've talked about
Mm,
before. um, Super action packed, lots of explosions. It's supposed to be on Prime. It comes out on July 2nd, so another movie for you to come out in
yeah,
July. But if you don't have access to go see a movie theater, this is something that you can go watch inside of your own home,
right.
which absolutely looks amazing.
It
Honestly,
looks
if you ask
funny. It looks
I
so
if you
funny.
yeah, absolutely, it looks hilarious because if you get Idris Elba and John Cena together with Jack Quaid of all people, like
Yeah.
in a just in a movie, like how do you not expect that to
And
be
and this is their
hilarious?
second project together, John Cena and Idris Elba, because they
Yeah.
were in Suicide Squad, James Gunn's Suicide Squad together, and they were
Oh my God.
they were beefing in that movie. So like, yeah, this is great, and people love them too beefing in that movie. So I think
Yeah.
to bring them into something outside of that realm of universe and comedy, I think people are
Yeah.
going to absolutely love this. But the trailer looks so funny.
Yeah. So yet another trailer that we got was Rick and Morty, season 8. We do have coming out on, I think it's exactly a month from today, the 25th of May. And they look I mean, the art style itself looks exactly what you would expect Rick and Morty to be, but it's beautiful, it's encouraging, it's like you want to watch it. Absolutely great. And it's chaotic and
Huh.
different and just I don't know. Anybody who's seen Rick and Morty out there, the full 7 seasons on
Mm.
Adult Swim, is exactly what you would expect for this trailer to be. Is that you know Rick and Morty to be Rick and Morty? I mean, I don't know what else to say.
I'm not a
um,
huge fan of Rick and Morty. Like, I
yeah,
see a lot of clips of their humor. The humor is funny. Like,
yeah.
I like the humor, but I may try again one day. I tried watching the first season of it here a
Yeah,
while back, and it's a little
I mean,
obnoxious. Like,
yeah,
both of their voices is almost too obnoxious for me to watch a whole bunch of
yeah,
episodes back to back to back, like binge watching. It's hard to binge
mm,
watch. I can see where maybe if I pace it out to like an episode a week or a couple episodes a week, it may be more tolerable, and that's how I may give it a
yeah,
second try. But like
yeah.
oh yeah, I don't know. It's got a huge
I
fan
don't
base though,
know. I
huge
mean,
fan base.
so Rick and Morty is not for everyone because their comedy style, it kind of like they throw up constantly, like,
Yeah,
it's different, and
yeah,
that's completely fine, is that it's not for everybody, just like some of the, series that we watch are different, and it's not for everybody, right? Like
right.
Righteous Gemstones are not for everybody.
Yeah,
But, like, it is
yeah,
what it
yeah.
is, right? Like, everybody has their own comedy style.
Sure, that's true.
But speaking of something that's completely different from everybody or something that you have possibly been in your time of life is you. Season 5, the entire season just completely dropped on the season 5, the entire season dropped on the 24th of April.
Yeah, on
So
Netflix.
all of it is out. And it is the final season of You, and they have said that uh the downfall of Joe is amazing, because that's exactly what we've all been waiting for, is that Joe eventually uh gets, caught up in whatever he's been going on. So I can't wait to watch it. Honestly, I have not watched it yet.
Uh, so I've been seeing good
But
reviews about people who love You, because man, there's so many people out there who love You, and I've heard really good reviews about the last season. Now, this is unpopular opinion. I watched the whole first season. I enjoyed the first season. It was a little weird, but I enjoyed it because it's definitely creeper status stuff. But so then I started watching the second one, and I kind of fell off of it because it was
yeah,
almost immediately for me being season two. It was almost one of those very repetitive things. So that's why it kind of lost me. I'm going to jump back in and definitely give this one another try a little bit later.
it's
Because
okay. I
I
mean, like,
enjoyed the first season, but like when it started, it was already kind of okay. This is about a creeper stalker, but whatever. But then when you get into season two, it's like we're kind of repeating this all over, you know. So that was like, all right, and I kind of fell off of it. But
yeah. No, I can 100% see that. And that's exactly why I'm saying that, like,
yeah,
You, or really any other like season that we talk about, like Righteous Gemstones and
hmm
stuff like that, is that it's not for everybody, and that's
right,
completely okay.
yeah,
That's just like our honest opinion
right,
as to what fundamentals,
yeah.
being Blake and I, like,
It
what we
wouldn't
think.
be great if we was the same person and liked every single thing to like, especially to our
Mm-mm.
the people who watch us. So it's great to have
Yeah.
that diverse outlook and things on fandoms. So
Yeah. So Firefest. There was a Firefest too that somehow, I don't know if any of you knew what Firefest was,
I
but
don't
back in
tell
20
me.
uh are you being sarcastic? Are
No, I'm
you
being
actually?
serious.
Oh my God. All right, there are two documentaries, one on Netflix, one on Hulu. You need to go watch them.
Really? Oh wow.
Yes. So back in 2017, there's a guy named Billy McFarland that made a festival that was called Firefest, and um, his thought process wasn't completely off weird, right? So he wanted to make an app
Okay.
where you could hire talent like Beyonce, like Ja Rule, like I don't know, chain smokers or whatever, to come to your birthday party and perform for you, and you would pay them. Completely
Okay.
normal, right? Like,
Yeah.
you would love that for your birthday if you're
Yeah.
turning
If you could afford it.
16, if
Yeah.
you're turning exactly. So if you could afford that, amazing. Now this is a product of something that you could make or request
hmm
rather, for celebrities to come perform at your bar mitzvah, for your celebrity or for your birthday or whatever, right?
hmm
Amazing. Absolutely, that's a great product. Now, Billy McFarland decided to take that, which was his brainchild, to decided to make it Firefest. So what Firefest decided to be was they were supposed to be in the Exuma, Bahamas, and they were supposed to have a whole festival of a music festival. It was supposed to be a weekend and another weekend, kind of like Coachella, where there was supposed to be 2 weekends,
hmm
and you were to choose one weekend rather than the other weekend, and you pay whatever. But it was
Sure.
astronomical prices, where
Right.
only the richest of the
The wealthy
rich
of the
were
wealthy.
really,
Yeah.
yeah, that were supposed to be in that. And there were kids that were putting their money forward to go to this, and then when they got there, they found out that it was not what they had expected to be, and they were having sandwiches with like just cheese on it, kind of like Lunchable like looking style, in a cardboard like box. Like, this is where their food was, and there was no music, and there was no water, there was no bathrooms really. There were porta potties, but there were only like 5 of them, and
I'm so
uh
confused.
so I'm telling you, go watch the documentaries. That tells you everything you need to know.
I'm so intrigued.
Um,
I have to watch it now. Huh.
right. So Billy McFarland went to jail for tax evasion or whatever for 6 years. He only spent 4 years in jail, and then he ended up deciding to do a Firefest 2, which is where we're at now. It was supposed to be this weekend or last weekend that this was supposed to take place. Now, this was after his tax thing was supposed to happen. Now, okay, so Billy McFarland was supposed, or what he really did was he robbed Peter to pay Paul, kind of thing.
Hmm.
So he always had scams
Oh,
going.
he's a scam guy. Gotcha.
Okay,
And this time
okay,
he's probably
that
thinking, "I'll just do this again because it made good money, and I'll just pay my taxes this time."
right.
Or
I don't
not.
know. I don't know what his plan was. Ja
Yeah.
Rule was 100% a part of it back for Firefest 1, and then when all of this legal stuff happened, he very much Ja Rule removed himself, right?
Uh-huh.
And I might be doing completely different like wrong like representation as to what exactly happened. There is a lot that happened with Billy McFarland. But what ended up happening now is Billy McFarland decided to have a Firefest 2 where his name was still attached to it and wanted to make another fire festival. And what? Yes, the FEMA tents. Yes. All right. Like, look, look. If you have not watched these documentaries, amazing. So, he ended up trying to make a Firefest 2. Uh, a week prior to it happening, they started like the people that bought tickets for some stupid fucking reason. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. I'm gonna just be honest as to what I think right now. And Taylor says, you're stupid. They bought festival tickets to this Firefest, and people were getting now all of a sudden refunds, and the festival canceled. And then a week after the Fire Festival had canceled, maybe 2, 3 days, maybe even a little bit longer,
Mhm.
maybe 5 days. Billy McFarland put up the brand for sale because he realized that his name attached to the product
Right.
was what was getting people
Mm.
not okay with it. But we had gotten a whole week into doing all of this, and he had nothing to show for it. I don't
Right.
know what we decided that we were gonna trust this man. I don't know, but
Mm.
ah,
Wow.
I'm sorry, not sorry, but the Blake, I promise you, I will send you all of the links to go see this Firefest to educate yourself as to what this was, but not good, not good at all. Um, so yeah, Firefest 2 was canceled. And thank fucking God.
Well, episode 2, season 2, The Last of Us takes us through the valley. Uh, that is actually the name of the second episode, and not everyone made it out. So, I guess for all you gamers out there who are huge Last of Us fans, you knew what was coming. But for those who weren't, did not know what was coming. And damn, wow. There's been plenty of time. It's been out now, so we can spoil this away. But yeah, Pedro Pascal character dies. Like, I'm like, man, second. I thought so. Like, I heard rumors that his character is going to die eventually, right? I did not expect them to kill him off because of the status of his name in acting. They would kill him off in the second season of the episode 2. I literally thought they might drag it on out until the end of the season. Nope, they did it. So But this was a good episode. I've enjoyed this so far. I absolutely love the first season. Uh, literally, the freaking shooting of this, it looks so cold and where it takes place. Like I literally froze seeing all the like ice forming on their face and stuff. But
Yeah.
we see his character gets killed. I almost said walkers like the Walking Dead, but the infected attacked the city they've been
I
living in.
immediately thought like Game of Thrones, like the White Walkers.
Oh yeah.
So continue.
But yeah, we see the city get attacked. We see they lost so many people in that the town that they live in is destroyed now. Um, yeah, it's good. I just wish we would have got a little bit more Pedro, but if this is where it makes sense and this is how the story needs to go to stick strictly to the game as tight as they've stuck into the game, then keep that fan base happy. Let's do it justice like everybody loves on the game.
Yeah.
Have you watched any of this yet?
No.
I couldn't remember.
So I did watch the or not that I watched. I played the
Okay.
first Walking or The Last
Ah,
of Us,
about got
sorry.
you to it.
Sorry. So I did play the first Last of Us and I couldn't bring myself to finish out the game
Oh,
because
that's right. Because you're like a guns a
I
blazing person.
yeah, so I need to be out there, guns blazing, like I need to fuck some shit up. Like I cannot just be sneaky boy action, which is why I don't do oh God, what is that for what is the newest game that played or game that we were talking about?
Quiet Place?
Assassin's Creed.
Oh,
No,
Quiet Place
Assassin's Creed.
that they're doing, you gotta do that too.
Right. No, 100%. So Assassin's Creed, I
Mhm.
couldn't do it because you
Yeah.
had to be like a sneaky assassin,
Yeah.
hence Assassin's Creed, right? I tried to play that, and that's the same thing with The Last of Us. So The
Mm,
Last of Us, the majority of it so far was completely fine until I got to a certain part where I had to get past clickers
mhm.
and I was like, dude, this is bullshit. This is not my play style, and I don't want to play it. That's
Yep.
just who I
E
am.
yeah,
Like,
each their own. So, like, even if you're not, like, big into the game, like, the show is worth watching. You should definitely put that on your list eventually to watch. It's good. It's really good.
yeah.
And you have, Danny Ramirez in this as well, the Falcon. He's in this.
Ooh.
Yeah, from, Brave
So,
New World.
do you want to tell us about the amateur?
I do. So, went and seen The Amateur yesterday, and let me tell you, this is great. It's got a great cast: John Bernthal, Lawrence Fishburne, Rami Malek, uh, our new Lois Lane's in it, Rachel Brosnahan. So
Mm,
great cast. I can't think of the guy's name. He played like one of the main villains, head in the thing in the movie, but he always plays a villain or a butthole in everything he's ever acted in.
I'm
Uh,
sorry. What?
what?
He's a butthole?
Yeah, Nasso. Well, I don't know whichever. He's a jerk. Like you know what I'm saying. But he plays one in this, and I knew it. Like when I first see him come on screen, I'm like, that's a bad guy. I can tell you right now, that's going to be a bad guy. But anyways, it's good. It's great. It's there's nothing surprising to it, but it was written well. The cast acted really well, and it's that those two parts are done so well that you don't care that it's predictable.
Okay.
What it is it's a CIA agent. He's like more of a IT CIA agent behind the
Mhm.
screen thing, and his wife goes over to London, and she gets killed by this terror attack type thing. It was four
Oh.
people, and come to find out, like some of our government, like some government, some CIA officials went off off the table and didn't tell the
Mhm.
CIA what they were doing on some projects, and they were doing some bad stuff with this group. So they're kind of like covering their own tail. And he's like, "How want y'all go after my wife's killers?" They're like, "Listen, you need to let us handle this." And then he's like, "No, I want to." So then he tells them, "Hey, train me as a CIA agent, like a field agent." And they're like,
Okay.
you ain't got what it takes to be someone like that. You couldn't even pull the trigger." And he finds out through this training with Lawrence Fishburne, he don't have what it takes to pull the trigger. He don't. So he decides to take his intelligence that he learns and finds ways to kill them without being in front of them, and
Mm.
instead of having to pull trigger point blank. and
Yeah.
it's really really good. I definitely recommend to see this. This is one of those movies I don't know if I'll ever watch it again because
Mm,
it's one of those movies you watch to see what happens, but
okay.
it was
But it's
it,
predictable, is
it
what you were
right,
saying.
right. So it's one of those like it was good to watch one time, but
Okay.
if you haven't watched it, I definitely recommend to go see it. But
That sounds like it's like a streaming type
yeah, yeah,
movie.
it
Okay.
could easily be
Okay.
streaming. Yeah, I'm not. This isn't one that you have to make sure you go to theaters to see, but it is. I say it's one to make sure you see at least one time. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was really enjoyable, and yeah. So something that you love talking about, Screamboat, the horror flick with cartoon nightmares, is officially up
Dude.
for home purchase on May 2nd.
Ah. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Mickey Mouse, or Steamboat Willie rather, at the beginning of the year was up for public domain. We talked about it on the podcast many, many times, but he was up for public domain, and the guy that plays the Terrifier of all people is the guy that plays Steamboat Willie in Screamboat. I don't know if you knew that, but
Yeah.
he apparently did a great job, and I did see that it only came out into theaters for like 3 days here
Mhm.
in Vegas, and I wasn't able to make any of the screenings, although I really, really wanted to. I can't wait for him to actually come out on May
Mhm.
2nd to actually watch, because I'm sure that it's going to be hilarious. And not only hilarious, but I mean, if anybody has seen
Creepy hilarious.
Terrifier, right? It
Yeah.
is like gut wrenching, like, oh God, like I can't
Yeah, it's
but
not
like
realistic, it's just gore.
mhm, yeah,
A lot of
and thank you,
practical effects.
Deontay. That's exactly who
Oh, yeah. Yep.
yes, David Howard Thornton is the guy that plays Steamboat Willie, and he did absolutely apparently amazing, and I can't wait to actually watch him play
It
this character.
it is on my list, actually, and it never has been on my list, but as much as you've started bringing on these, like, Pooniverse and these domain names that have been turned horror, like, I don't we've talked about them
Yeah,
so much, I have it in my head,
he's
I
part
have
of
to watch them all. Yeah.
the twisted childhood universe or whatever.
Yes. I
Not
have to watch
this
them now.
film
No,
in
no.
specific, but there are a lot of them that are a
I
part of it.
I rank them together, though, like, I kinda, like, categorize them all
Oh
together, so,
yeah,
yeah.
dude, how could you not? It's Screamboat Willie. Like, it's what you grew up watching, like the whistling Willie, you know, Mickey Mouse. Like
Yeah.
how could you not think about that?
So
But speaking of things that
yes.
are of the older variety that are now coming back out, the Friday the 13th has a Crystal Lake prequel that is coming out, and we've talked about it before because we had the actress
Mhm.
that was casted as the mom. But it is officially starting in its production. They did have a IG post that they had with uh oh shoot, the script that was in the
Mhm.
background, and it said like, hey, we're officially in production. It's an A24
Yeah.
uh production that I can't wait to actually see. There's no actual release date, but it is on Peacock specifically, and I'm here
Yeah.
for it.
It'll be a Peacock original, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, and I could be wrong. Has A24 done, an original series, Peacock original series like this before, or is this be the first one? I wonder.
I could be wrong by saying this, but I do not think so. I
Yeah, I
think
don't
they've
think so.
only done movies up until this point,
I
and
think
I
this
could
will
be
be their
wrong.
first one, so I'm
Yeah.
excited about that because we are big fans of A24 here, so
Oh yeah. A24 and Neon. Those are the two that Taylor, like, anytime I see those, I'm like, I'm gonna
Mhm.
go see that.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the monkey. Oh, oh,
I actually just watched that, because of you. Yep,
oh.
I finally just watched that. I enjoyed it. That was
And
good.
yeah,
I enjoyed it,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I'm happy. I'm happy about that. But why don't you tell us about some Hunger Games news?
Yeah, the Hunger Games prequel just cast Haymitch and a few others, And yeah, young love and rebellion are about to collide. I'm excited for this. I love the Hunger Games movies, so more we get, I'm here for it. But we have these actors that are cast, and we have uh, Joseph Zada, which is playing Haymitch. We have Whitney Peak playing his girlfriend. Jesse Plemons playing Plutarch Heavensby, which, as we all
Yeah.
know, was played by the late oh wow, in the original ones, Philip Seymour Hoffman. And then
Oh
we have
yeah.
McKenna Grace, who is playing Mason Lee Donner. So that is 4 confirmed actors that are going to be in this. So starting off with a pretty good cast, a strong
Super
cast.
stacked. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
excited. I like kind of want to get the audiobook and listen to it by Jefferson O. White. I think that's reads it, but
Mhm.
at the same time, I want to. But then I also kind of want to go into this movie not knowing what's going to happen. So I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold off until the movie comes out. But I love the Hunger Games series. It's like around that same time those came out, and a whole bunch of these post apocalyptic, uh, movies. Like I was all about them. Maze Runner, Divergent series. They were all great for me.
Ooh, beef. I
I've
don't
not
know.
seen Beef.
AD, tell us what beef was. Because I completely forgot what beef was. But
Um,
Erica said that she's listening to the audiobook currently.
nice. But yeah, and if anybody doesn't know of this, Haymitch, the character that they're playing, a younger version of him when he goes through the reaping, was Woody Harrelson's character in the original series. So,
Kenpachi brought in that Euphoria was brought to us by
oh, okay.
A24. So I've heard really good things about Euphoria. Have not actually watched it,
I
I
have
will
not
be
watched it
honest.
yet either.
Okay. All right. At least I'm not the only one
Yeah,
because like
well,
I've
every time
heard
yeah, I've still heard so many good things
um
about it. And when I say I've not watched it, people are like, "Oh my god, you've not watched it?" Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay. Beef was the Ali Wong show that's on Netflix. Okay, I do remember this now, and
okay.
that was actually really good. I do remember that.
So this definitely is not their first rodeo in shows, apparently.
No, 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 no. So apparently there are two that we completely forgot, and thank you so much to our crowd of peoples that have brought us that.
For sure. I love when we have other nerds in the comments and like there's a lot
Oh
of things
yeah.
we don't know. So I love when they can give us a knowledge themselves.
Oh yeah.
A show that is out and there's releasing a new episode every Wednesday, and I think it's 5 or 6 episodes deep right now. If you have Apple TV, there's a show with Seth Rogen in it, and it's got a stat cast, and it's called The Studio. And it's literally about Seth Rogen plays a studio head that's running a studio. The first episode is about him actually gaining this position, and it is just packed with famous actors. And
Yeah.
it's good, it's hilarious. But I've recently made a friend with a producer that's in Hollywood, and she said that this show is actually creepily very, very accurate with how every day-to-day life works in Hollywood at
Oh
studios.
shit.
So if you ever really want to get a good behind the scenes look of how studios watch the studio, but at the same time, it will make you laugh. So
I love that
yeah,
because it's a Seth what's his face?
Seth Rogen, yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah,
It's a Seth Rogen production.
and Catherine Hahn is in it too. Oh
Oh?
yeah, oh yes. But you got some gaming filming news to wrap us up this week, don't you?
Yes. Yes, I do. So the gaming news that I have is the ghost of Yet Yodi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but they had an official release trailer that came out, and it looks absolutely amazing. And anybody that's looking for something to play here in a little bit, absolutely recommend that because it looks a lot like it has like the Japanese culture, half face, traditional Japanese like mask that we saw, when we were in Hannibal. I don't know if you
Yeah,
remember, but we
yeah,
went to that store.
that cool ass
Um,
store.
yeah, oh my God, that cool ass store. Yeah, we gotta talk about that cool ass store.
You don't have that
But
piece near to you, do you? Like close by? Okay,
mm-mm.
never mind. You have to show it some other
I don't
time.
have anything near me for that store. I mean, downstairs I have the skeleton wine
Oh
like
yeah,
holder,
yeah.
but back at home in Arizona,
Oh,
which I
that's
will
where that's
have
at. Okay.
soon.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I will be putting that up on my wall, and we'll all see it very soon, and I shall tell you guys all about it. But they have like really cool like Japanese masks that are like
Mhm.
half face. That was really cool in that. Forza Horizon 5 is something that recently came out in onto PlayStation, and it is taking place in Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. Absolutely beautiful. I love Forza Horizon. I've talked about it before. I loved Forza Horizon 4 when I was on Xbox itself. Now I'm back on PlayStation because that's been my way of life here for like years. So I've gotten back into PlayStation, and now Forza Horizon 5 is back onto PlayStation and is now available up onto PlayStation 5, which is means that it's something that I will be playing very, very soon. It's an open world racing game, absolutely beautiful graphics. I love everything about Forza itself. The next thing that I want to talk about is Outrun. So this was a 1980s, I want to say arcade game
Mhm.
that came out on Nintendo, and they are recreating it into a movie adaptation.
Hmm.
And I can't remember exactly who is directing it or anything, but Sydney Sweeney is also supposed to be helping direct it, which is interesting because she's been an
Yeah.
actress that we've been talking about for
Oh,
time and time again.
she's a producer, I think, in it. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yep.
right. And so this is like a an arcade game that they came back out. The last time that it came out for release was like 2009, um, and that came out on like PlayStation, Xbox, whatever was out at the time, out of arcades to become more relevant for what was being played. But then after that, hadn't come back out since then. But there were multiple iterations about Outrun that were out and about. So super love that. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about was Split Faction. This is the game that I had been talking about for many a months
Yes.
before it came out, and I said it looked absolutely beautiful. It came from It Takes Two. Uh, but now there is a movie adaptation that is supposed to be coming out with this with our very own John M. Chu. If you guys are not familiar, that is the Wicked producer, director, if you will. And he is directing this film, which has been a beautiful video game. Lots of great things have been talked about for this video game. It's a multiplayer video game, if for those of you do not know. But he is the director for this video game that has just now announced their prime person that is going to be an actress in this, and that is our very own Sydney Sweeney. So I am excited. I am super excited for this film. Uh, and I've talked about it for time and time again, is that this video game itself has looked absolutely beautiful,
Yeah.
and I
Just the
can't
visuals
wait.
we've shown on here that you've posted, like,
Oh,
it does. Like, visually, I'm like, if you would've just told me about this, I'm like, "Oh, that sounds cool," but I wouldn't have, like, just
yeah,
wanted to go play it. But, like, just the
yeah,
visuals I've seen of it makes me wanna play the game.
mhm, yeah. No,
I can't even
it's
imagine bringing that to
absolutely.
life on screen, like, to for a movie.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to see what they do what else with. It's very early in what we've talked about production and
Mhm.
casting, and this is it. This is all we have right now, is that Split Faction is actually being a movie. Director John M. Chu, who is the director also of Wicked, and we have Sydney Sweeney, who is the Sydney Sweeney, that is supposed to be the star actress in it. But that's it for gaming news.
Alright, so that pretty much wraps us up for this week. But tune in next Sunday where we will be talking about Thunderbolts. And we'll give a little spoiler warning ahead before we jump into it. And, that way you can skip ahead if you haven't seen it yet. But
Yeah.
we most definitely will be talking about it. So, but until then, catch everybody later.
Peace.